Just because your problem or sadness isn't as grave or detrimental as someone else's, it doesn't mean that it's not valid, and it doesn't mean that your feelings aren't valid. When we are born with two fears. Every other fear that we have is learned. The two fears that we are born with as babies, inevitably, are fears of Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Although I don't think there's probably many people here because I have not posted a video on here in about 2.5, 3 weeks. There's a lot going on. And today's video is going to be a little bit about my thoughts on what is happening in the world. And while this may not necessarily go into the vein of true crime, it does go into the vein of everything happening in the world, and it kind of it's pretty relevant. So I'm going to be talking about my pregnancy and some updates on that. By the time you're watching this, I'm 29 weeks pregnant. Today is Thursday, but April 17th is tomorrow, and I will be exactly 29 weeks, and that puts me in my third trimester. So there's a lot that's been going on in my life in particular, and there's also a lot going on in the world, and I think I want to talk about it. I feel like it's okay to talk about it. A lot of my life I've had to quiet things down. I've had to push things down, feelings, thoughts, opinions, and I just don't want to right now. And I consider you guys friends, my online friends, and a safe place. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And while it might not be an exact distraction from what's happening in the world, this is not meant to be a dark or scary or whatever video. It's more just a normal person talking to people that are all going through a very similar, if not exactly the same experience. You guys just might not be pregnant. So we're going to talk about that today. I do have a true crime video coming out next Monday, I believe Monday or Tuesday, and it's actually one that hits very close to home. And yeah, it's interesting. So before we get into all of today's video, I do want to thank Epic Games for sponsoring this video, and it's quite apropos, if you will, because we are all on basically quarantine. We're not supposed to leave our house, and that means we don't really get to talk to friends and family in person, and a lot of us are experiencing different emotions because of this. I know I am, especially being 7 months pregnant. It's been really trying, to say the least, because this is a moment in time where I'd really like to celebrate with my friends and family, and just for the safety of everybody, including my own unborn baby, and for the sake of following rules, keeping social distancing, etc. I don't really get the opportunity to see anybody in person and celebrate this really wonderful time and experience in my life that would normally be amazing and like celebratory and whatnot. I don't even know if I'll have a baby shower, but today's sponsor is something that might actually come in handy when it comes to my baby shower. In fact, unless this clears up by then and we get the go ahead and it's safe again to be around at least a group of, 10 people, this is the way that I'm going to have to have my baby shower. And that is through an app, and it's called House Party. Now, this app is absolutely free. It's available on, I think, pretty much every device, Android, obviously iPhone, iOS, Chrome, you name it, it's available. I have it. My username is amberlovesmystery. I would love to talk to you guys. It's amazing because you can literally watch movies together. You can do trivia together. It is a way to bring a bunch of people. Like, you can have multiple people on these house parties. That's why it's called a house party. You could have multiple people all communicating together, and it's the closest thing to hanging out with friends and family that we're going to get right now, while this crazy stuff is happening in our world. So there's a link below in the description box if you would like to try it out for free. Honestly, it is free. It is perfect for what's happening right now. I don't know what I would do without it. And this is probably going to be the way that I'm gonna have to have my baby shower. So, well, that sucks. At least this app exists so that we can all hang out collectively and celebrate my baby girl and her birth, which is now supposed to be on June 25th. So yes. So like I was saying, this is not necessarily a true crime video, and I do have one coming up on, it's either going to be Monday or Tuesday, but it's pretty interesting. And it's not the kind of true crime that I typically talk about. It's not about a missing person. It's not about, you know, someone passing away or being, you know, someone doing something terribly wrong to someone, as far as that goes, like something detrimental that you can't come back from. It's more of a criminal ring, a small criminal ring that was caught out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and it hits very close to home for me. And you will see why when you watch that video. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. It's free. Like this video, it's also free. And turn notifications on, that way you're notified when the video goes up. Now, what have I been up to? You know, I thought about this video for a while and how I would make another video, because I don't know, like I thought, like, okay, I could just continue to post videos and true crime and this and that and whatever, and honestly, I have not felt exactly motivated to do so. There's a few reasons, but one reason is this COVID-19, this coronavirus. Like, when it first was circulating on the news, I recall talking about it to, you know, with my boyfriend, and we both were kind of like, you know, it's really strange. I'm sure we had similar feelings to a lot of you guys and your family's initial reactions, and it seemed kind of more of like a distant thing. Like, you know how when you watch the news or you listen to a true crime story or something and you're like, wow, that's so crazy, and I know that it's real and it happened to people, but that could never happen to me. Like that kind of thing. Not like we're delusional. Like, obviously anything bad could happen to any of us, and also anything good could happen to any of us. Remember that, guys. So it was sort of like that. It was sort of like we realized it was really bad, and I felt so sad. And the videos that were coming up with the people in Wuhan and the things that they were going through, and I already feel like that country as it is not nearly as fortunate as ours. I know that we have a lot of bad things in our country as well. We're not the best country as far as economics and healthcare and people in that, and I'm not getting into politics. I really just, this is not about that. But, you know, they were not doing good, right? I just felt really bad. And then we started to hear about it coming to our country and the various, or whatever other countries were next, and then like the various ways that this virus possibly started. You know, we hear those stories about the meat market and the bat soup, and then there's channels putting out documentaries about how this actually started in their opinion, and I'm not obviously going to get into that because I don't know how this really started. I don't know if it is some sort of man-made thing that was supposed to be used as a, you know, a force, if you will, against other countries. I don't know. Biochemical, blah, blah, blah. Also, I'm hungry, so I made myself a smoothie that's very healthy for the baby, and so You know, the thing is, I feel like this went from 0 to 60 like that. And that is kind of the most alarming thing. And I think a lot of you probably agree with me on that. The unknowns about this virus is the most scary to most people, I believe. The things that I've read, the people that talk about it, other creators that have spoken about it. And it's kind of interesting because I know a lot of creators are trying not to talk about this because they want to, and what is the word? Rightfully so, distract you guys and give you guys something other than just the coronavirus to listen to and talk about and ponder about and, you know, kind of just distract you from that. Because I can tell you every morning my boyfriend listens to, is it NBC or CNN? And then he listens to like the stock stuff and this and that. And it's, oh my God, like every time I hear Corona and COVID, I'm just like, oh my God, you know. But the thing is, the fact of the matter is, it's a very real thing. And no matter how many distractions we have, it's not going to make it go away. It's not going to fix it. We have to, as a community, as people in every country, in every state, we have to take our own, you know, we have to be responsible and take measures in order to help flatten the curve, as they all say. And that means staying at home. That means not leaving the house unless you absolutely have to. When I leave the house, I leave if I have to go to a doctor's appointment. I don't even really like to go to the grocery store because the last time I went to the grocery store, there were people coughing. And I don't mean coughing like, in my opinion, I don't even think coughing like this is very good. Yes, it's better than coughing in your hand. But ever since I was like very small, I was taught to like cough and sneeze in my shirt. Now, if you're wearing a tank top or a tube top or whatever, obviously you can't do that, but you know what I mean. Like, I just think it's, you know, yeah, you're gonna get it, like if you sneeze and it's gross, it's good, whatever. But the point is, that's what I do. And the interesting thing about this too is we're being told how to wash our hands. People are going crazy buying cleaner and toilet paper and all this stuff, and like all the baby wipes are sold out. I'm getting ready to have a baby and I can't even go to the grocery store and buy baby wipes, and diapers are getting low. Formula is getting low. I plan on breastfeeding, but heaven forbid something happen and I can't, and there's no formula. How am I supposed to feed my baby? You know, luckily we have had things. We are Costco members, so we have things for now. And we're very blessed and I'm very grateful. I've been spending my time DIYing the house, organizing things, you know, just trying to prepare and have a space that's as productive, or what is the word? I know that I'm probably gonna get no sleep. I'm already not getting any sleep because I wake up at like 3:30 every morning. I don't fall asleep till about 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I fall asleep earlier, but then I'm waking up every hour to pee. And I love my baby girl. I love our little girl so much. But oh my gosh, this last trimester, it's something else. It's definitely, I'm definitely feeling pregnant. Definitely. Not that I wasn't before, but now it's very apparent as far as like the way I feel in my body and the physiological things happening, as far as being so hungry to the point where, I know I'm jumping around, but it's just one of those videos, and it's gonna help me in the editing process because it is what it is. Anyways, I'm just saying this so that I don't make noise and wake this little one up, but oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? Our little dog. You're so cute. What are you doing, baby girl? Oh my gosh, I love her so much. My little honey bunny. Anyway, what I was saying is, so for example, if anyone has been pregnant, please let me know in the comments down below if you have experienced this. But lately, and I swear this happened as soon as I got into my 3rd trimester, it's almost like my body knew. Of course it knows. If I wake up in the middle of the night or even throughout the day and I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. If I don't eat it, especially if we have it here at the house, I will literally obsess about whatever food it is until I consume it. So I woke up at 3:34 this morning and I'm lying there and I'm like, oh yeah, we have a cantaloupe in the fridge. That sounds so good right now. Like cold cantaloupe. I'm like, that just sounds so good. So I lay there and I get up, I have to pee, of course. And when I get, when I sit down to pee, it's not just like I pee, I just sit there and I pee and it's a lot. And then I could literally sit there for probably, I don't know, 45 minutes. And every 5 minutes, there'll be just a ton of pee. And as soon as I get up from peeing, I have the urge to pee. I just have to ignore it. Like right now I have to pee. I know maybe TMI, but it's just a normal thing, you guys. So I laid down and I tried to go back to sleep after I peed. And I could not stop thinking about that damn cantaloupe. So I had to get up. I had to get up at, 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, creep into the kitchen because I don't want to wake anyone up. I don't want to wake the dogs up. I'm not trying to wake up my boyfriend, because I'm snacking. And cut open the cantaloupe and I'm literally standing there. And normally when I cut the cantaloupe, like I'll take the seeds out and then I'll like slice it, like whatever, like take the rind off. Nope, I just took a spoon and I was like, it's so good. And then that wasn't enough. I had to have a little bit on a plate. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I have some peanut butter cookies I made, some peanut butter oatmeal cookies I made. So then I go get a cup of almond milk from the fridge. I grab, I don't know, 4 peanut butter cookies. I go back to our bedroom and I sit there and I eat. And I don't know how I didn't wake anyone up because I feel like I was eating just ravenously, And then of course I had to get up and pee. I just mouthwashed and kind of brushed my teeth real fast and went back to sleep. And then I woke up at 6:30 and then that was it. I was awake. I've been awake since then. Long story short, I think I'm already preparing myself for no sleep. But I've been preparing the house so that the goal is that everything in the house will have a place so that it doesn't get so messy. I have found that, like for example, our pantry, before I organized it, I couldn't find anything. It was a mess, but now everything has its place and it's so much easier to keep it clean and contained. And I've just been going around the house and doing that. And my boyfriend has lived in this house for over a decade and he has a lot of stuff in so that's been fun having, I choose to go through it and clean it, and that's what I've been doing. I'm a homebody as it is, so the idea of having to stay at home isn't necessarily detrimental to me. Also, I'm pregnant, so it's not like I'm out partying. And although, girl, I have been craving, here's another weird thing. Anytime that I watch anything on TV and I see alcohol, whether it's a martini, like a dirty, dry martini with olives, or a beer, I don't even like beer. I'm like salivating. I'm like, that sounds so good. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I know that I cannot have alcohol because I'm pregnant and I just wouldn't, or if I legitimately am craving it for some weird reason. I know my best friend, when she was pregnant, she craved beer all the time. And it was the strangest thing because she also was not like a beer drinker. And so I know people have weird cravings, but I don't sit around and crave alcohol. It's just when I see it, I'm like, oh gosh, that sounds good. And my mouth waters. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, so it's not like I could technically be out partying or, like doing a bunch of things. It is sad because my best friend did just have a baby. I believe he'll be a month or 3 weeks tomorrow. And I have not been able to go meet him. And he's the chunkiest little monkey. He's such a chunk of monk. He's so cute. He's so perfect. I've seen the pictures, and obviously we get to do the house party stuff and see each other that way, but it sucks because I want to hold the baby. And here's the thing. Obviously, I know I talked about this a little bit when I was talking about Epic Games and the house party app. My baby shower was supposed to be this month. One of the girls helping me out, she came up with this really cute idea, something like April, what did she say? April showers, wait, no. April, May. She had this cute little saying that completely went along with like the baby coming and it being like April showers, baby shower, like it was all tied in so perfectly. And I have the cutest theme for my baby shower, and I still don't want to say what it is yet because I'm still hoping that even if I'm 8.5 months pregnant and we're allowed to go out and talk to people and be around people again, maybe there's a chance I can still have a baby shower. So I'm really hoping so, because I'm really bummed. Like, this is my first baby. I understand it sounds like such a selfish thing to be upset about and disappointed, because there are far worse problems. People don't have access to food. There are people that are losing their jobs. There are people that are, worst case scenario, what's happening. We see it on the news every day, and there's like, what, 2 million confirmed cases, I think, worldwide or something. And I just heard on the news, which I need to stop listening to. My doctor was like, stop watching the news, but it's hard not to, especially being pregnant, especially with the very small amount of research and literature that is available when it comes to pregnant women and COVID-19. Now, so I understand that me being upset about not having a baby shower possibly sounds, first world problem, I guess. I don't know. But I've learned through therapy that just because your problem, when you compare it to other people's problems, which you shouldn't be doing, but because when you do that or other people do that, that shouldn't also be doing that, is less bad than someone else's. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt you or that your feelings are less valid. It's no different than, I was cooking the other day. That's another thing I've been doing a lot, and my boyfriend loves it. I've been just finding all these recipes, trying them out. They don't always work out, but a lot of them are. I burnt myself the other day, so it's no different than, say this would have been a worse burn, and like a 3rd degree, 4th degree burn or something, right? Like the skin coming off. But I'm not like dying, like I don't have the virus, and saying like, well, it's not that bad, so I think I'm just gonna, it's fine. I'll be fine. It's fine. Other people are dealing with so much worse things. I don't need to go to the hospital. I don't want to take away. No, I should still go to the hospital. I'm not saying like I wouldn't go for this, but you know what I mean? Like, just because your problem or sadness or whatever it is that you're dealing with isn't as grave or detrimental as someone else's, it doesn't mean that it's not valid, and it doesn't mean that your feelings aren't valid. I think it's really unhealthy for people to set that kind of precedent, like, well, it could be worse. Well, it could always be worse, and it could always be better. Someone is always going to be, richer, skinnier, more fit, prettier, younger, older, wiser, smarter, more educated, whatever it is, than you. You could find, wherever you look, you can find that. And for other people, you are that thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so unhealthy. And I've been trying to take this time to do a lot of reflection, because obviously I'm alone in my thoughts a lot. And I've been thinking a lot about how I want to raise our daughter and the qualities I want her to have, and the fears that I don't want her growing up having. When we are born with 2 fears. Every other fear that we have in life is learned. So that's when the nurture versus nature comes in. The two fears that we are born with as babies, inevitably, unless, God forbid, you know, your baby is born and they can't hear. But the two fears that we are born with are fears of falling and loud noises. Now that makes sense. Which is kind of funny that roller coasters are such a fun thing to do, because that kind of combines our two fears that we're born with into one, and it like magnifies it because we feel like we're falling and going upside down, and it's very loud. But think about that. Every other fear we have either learned because of experiences that we were put through as children. We were taught, traumas we've gone through, things that we've seen other people go through. So we're like, oh my gosh, we don't want that to happen to us. So we just have this fear. You see a car accident and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm scared, you know, like, and rightfully so. You don't want to drive around like a dick and irresponsibly. And obviously some fear is healthy. So when your child is growing up, you want them to be scared of putting their hand on the hot stove, because that's bad for them. That's dangerous. But I think the fears more that I'm talking about are like anxiety, social anxiety, public speaking, looking stupid. Okay, so here's something. And I'm the first person, like I have so many fears and so many social anxieties and this and that. And I mean, it sucks. I mean, like I'm a homebody because I'm just more comfortable that way. I get scared around people. I have been hurt by so many people that whenever anyone comes into my life and I feel like, wow, you know, they're a good person, they have good intentions, I am constantly praying that they don't end up being like the last person that fucked me over, or the last person that I really trusted and opened up to that ultimately fucked me over. And I'm not saying that like I'm this constant victim, because I'm not. I don't want to come across that way. But I think that there is something to be said when the facts are there. You become friends with someone or friendly, you engage with them a lot, you share things with each other, whatever, and then they betray you. Or they talk about your private things when they shouldn't, when it really has nothing to do with anything. And this is in interpersonal relationships. This could be a bad breakup. This could be people you used to be family with. Say you went through a breakup and now that family that you loved, whether it's like, you know, the parents of your ex or their exes or their brothers and sisters or whatever it may be, whoever it may be, your own family's estranged family, reaching out and literally just trying to hurt you. Like, it doesn't matter. It could be on a big scale, like on social media, someone trying to dox you, someone doxing you, someone trying to expose you when it's not called for, or it could be at your job. People could call you like, oh wow, she's the girl that's sleeping her way to the top, or why does she wear so much makeup, or whatever it is. Like, people do this kind of thing, you know, and it's not always, it's not every day, but my point is, I'm not special to these circumstances of being fucked over by people, being betrayed, I guess. Betrayal is probably the biggest thing for me, because that was weird. I thought I saw a light up there. It's really hard for me to trust people. It's hard for me to trust people, but I'm so I so badly want to trust people that the mistake that I make often, and I keep continuing to find myself doing, is whenever I see someone and I see the good in them and I see like, wow, okay, they understand me. They might not agree with everything that I have said or done in my life or say and do in my life, but they get me. They see me as a human being and they can empathize with me on any degree, whether it's, oh wow, you know, it sucks because she's, you know, pregnant and she can't have a baby shower, or, you know, her ex, while she was not with him anymore, he still went to prison and that was very fucking detrimental. And the list goes on. Similar to how I empathize with people, like my best friend who just had to give birth to a baby, and luckily her husband was allowed to be in the room. But there's a lot of mothers out there that are giving birth, some for the first time, some are having C-sections, some have very high-risk pregnancies, and they can't have anybody in the room. And they have to wear a mask. And it's like, what? Like, I talked to my baby daddy about this at length. We have both spoken about this because this is also his first baby and he's so excited. He's so in love with our little girl. Like, it makes me want to cry. But the thought of him not being there when I give birth, like if that happens, I don't know how I will handle that. I don't think I could handle that. Obviously I will have to. And obviously other mothers are having to do that, but I don't want to. As it is, the last ultrasound I went to, he was not allowed to go. They're not even allowed to go in the waiting room. Only moms are allowed to go to the appointments. And it's sad because like I said, it's moments like that we're not going to be able to get back. Yeah. Okay, maybe we have another baby in the future and this is all said and done. I mean, who knows? I never thought I'd even have one baby, okay? I didn't even think I could have babies. I never tried, but I've never been pregnant. So it was like, what? Okay. So this is my first baby. This is his first baby. And it's our little girl and we love her so much. And you know, her name is perfect and I can't wait to share it with you guys, but in due time. But like, we have nicknames for her already and it's so cute. And I swear, like the other night I was laying in bed and she was moving and she's getting big, okay, which is great. But I swear, like we were interacting. Like I was like, hey baby, and you know, calling her name and stuff. And it went on for like what felt like 15 minutes. And like, I would just like touch my stomach and be like, I love you so much. And then I would feel her like hit back or like, you know what I mean? Like it just, we're so excited. And so him not being able to go to my OBGYN appointments, especially the ones where we have ultrasounds, because we don't have an ultrasound every time I go in. It's just been thus far, I believe, like every other one. So we had one at 9 weeks, and then we had one at, because 9 weeks, that was the very first one. And then I think it was, I don't know, it's on my Instagram. You know, and then I just had one at my last OBGYN appointment. So he didn't get to go. He didn't get to see it. And my OBGYN, the lady there, she will not let me record the screen. Like, I'm like, I won't even record you. I just want to record the screen. And she's like, no, we just can't. Liability, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that sucks. You know, it really sucks. And she's like, I'll give you extra pictures. I'm like, okay. And I get it. You know, if the rules are the rules, it's fine. But I want him to be able to see. I want him to see our baby moving around and sitting on my bladder. And, you know, it's just, all of this stuff has been going through my head recently. And so I keep getting off topic, but you guys, a lot of this is just why I haven't been posting. I just don't, it just seems hard to sit there and research, you know, true crime. Or even on my second channel, I do have a video that is supposed to go up. I need to edit, but it's like I just keep distracting myself from YouTube. I don't even really watch YouTube that much. YouTube comes with a lot of pain for me anyway, regardless of how I present myself or act or how I keep my mouth shut about things. YouTube is not what it once was for me. And that's by partially my own fault and partially, majorly, other people's faults. And that is what it is. And I just have this, resentment sometimes, a lot, when I think about YouTube and when I go to upload. And it's not even about numbers. It's not even about the money I make, because Lord knows I'm not making that much money. I mean, I'm so grateful that I've had some sponsorships, you know, and you could say like, that's why I'm posting, because I got sponsored. But I've also done really in-depth research. Like the last videos I posted that were sponsored for my, you know, the true crime videos, those were cases that I've been talking about doing regardless, even before I was approached to do a sponsorship. And then this video, it was like last minute, like literally I have to get up tomorrow or whatever, I'm not getting the sponsorship, and that's fine. I'm just grateful because obviously, even if I wanted to go work right now, I can't, because I'm pregnant and what's happening in the world. You know, I know there are women that are, and you guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that is one of the people that are putting themselves in danger. Damn, it's an ice machine. Putting themselves essentially in danger in the front line, the doctors, the nurses, all of the hospital staff, down to even the people that are the janitors that are cleaning up these places, the people in law enforcement, in the courts, the lawyers, the freaking FBI agents, all the people. I don't know everybody. I just think it's, you know, there's some people that can't not go to work. We think of essential workers, like the people at the grocery stores, delivering our mail, UPS, FedEx. I am so grateful to all of those people, and I really pray for them. I hope that everybody stays safe. You know, it's sad that a lot of those people have to go home and quarantine themselves from their own family, because they know they have to go back out there and they've been potentially exposed to this crazy virus, and they don't want to give it to their family. And that is such, first of all, that's such like devotion to people, and it's so humbling to think about and admirable. And a lot of people might be like, oh, well, they're doing it because, yeah, luckily they can go to work and they need jobs and people need money. Right. But they're also giving out a ton of unemployment right now. They're doing the tax break. I'm not saying, like, listen, if you can stay home and not have to work, I wish that more for you guys than anything, because that's how we're going to all stay safe, right? But we need to have, you know, there's certain jobs that are not going to do themselves. We don't have robots. This would be a good time to have robots, you know, being cashiers and cooking food and being doctors and nurses and everything. But what I was saying a minute ago is, we think of essential workers as, you know, the ones that come to mind right away, but essential workers are also the people that are, you know, running our country. I don't necessarily just mean the president, but, you know, the people that do the news. I know a lot of them are doing it from home, but there are still people that are going out into the world every single day. There are people that are maintaining the roads, that are maintaining lights. What about plumbers, electricians? You know, like I said, police officers, they're still having to do those things. It's just, there's a lot of people that I am very grateful for, and I hope that you guys are too, because like I said, it's such a weird time to be alive and to be going through this. Sorry, I keep seeing people walk by. because it's something we're all experiencing. And I think, to me, that's the thing where I'm like, whoa, like this is so much bigger than just, you know, a tragedy happening in our country. Like, that is horrible, but this is a tragedy that's happening like from sand to sand, from like the corner, every corner of the world. Nobody is safe. And then I think about the people like inmates, or people in psychiatric hospitals, or juvenile detentions, hospice, group homes, homeless shelters, or places where they feed people, like food banks and stuff like that. Like, oh my God. There's so much happening, and it's hard for me to look past all of it and just try and act normal in front of the camera. Like, I have some videos I have filmed in the interim, but it's just, you know, I don't even know that I need to sit here and apologize for not posting. I need to tell you why. Like, it's just, it is what it is. It's difficult. It's difficult to just feel normal, because this is not normal. And I don't have to tell you like the dangers, because, you know, we see it every day. This is more just like, we're hanging out. We're having our own house party, okay? We could technically be on the house party app right now and having this conversation, and it would be more of a conversation, and I would actually really like that, because I've been talking a lot, and I think it's because I don't really talk that much. Like, my boyfriend gets home from the office, you know, late, and then, you know, I go to bed early, trying to go to sleep early, but then, you know, I keep waking up. I don't know. I just feel like I needed to talk to you guys, and I hope it's okay. Anytime I watch, like, I have sought content to listen to while I'm like organizing the house and whatnot, but I don't really want to hear drama. I really don't want to hear about true crime cases right now. Like, I just don't. I don't really know what I want to hear about. And that's why I'm really not watching that much YouTube. So since there's not really a sort of content that I feel like watching right now, like, I'll put it on, I'm like, it's hard for me to know what to put out, because oftentimes as creators, we create content that we ourselves like to consume. And, you know, for the longest time, for me, it was like daily vlogging and beauty. And then that got to be just that. So then I kind of stopped watching that stuff. And then I became obsessed with the true crime community on YouTube, and I love it, and I do. But right now, I don't know. Am I alone in here? In this, like, I don't know. I like watching more like DIY stuff and cooking stuff, and maybe also because I'm nesting, you know, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I have talked way too long. This video doesn't have to be any length. I mean, this is a long video, but it's just been weird. And I really just want to celebrate my pregnancy. I still want to do like pregnancy photos. I want a baby shower so bad. I don't know what to do. I do have a P.O. box, by the way. A lot of people have asked, and I know, whatever it is, you could send me a letter if you want. It's in the description box. It's whatever. It is what it is. What else? I feel like there's so much more that I want to talk about, but I think this is a lot for now. I do want to thank Epic Games again for sponsoring this video. And don't forget, you can download the app for free, the House Party app. I'm telling you, it is a fun, free way to engage with your friends and make sure your friends are okay. It's one thing to text somebody, but it's a lot better to have one-on-one interaction, like where you can see them. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Please stay safe. Please don't go out unless you have to. I know there's some topics that I started to get into that I didn't quite complete my thoughts, and that's just welcome to my brain. I don't know. I have hope. I do. That things will get better soon. But then I also have heard that we might be having this social distancing thing until 2022. And I'm like, what? My daughter is not going to grow up having no play dates. Obviously, I will follow the rules, whatever it is, you know, to keep everyone safe. But that's a scary thought. So, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I also never thought that this would happen. It's so eerie to see clips of New York City and Las Vegas and California, like the freeway, because I've been to all those places, and those are some of like the liveliest cities. And it's also crazy. And the epicenter of this for the longest time, I think, was in Kirkland. And that's where I lived in Washington, was Kirkland, Washington. It's a very small, very beautiful, very nice part of Washington. And to think that, sadly, like so many people got sick from there. It's crazy. I don't know. Hopefully this gave you something to listen to, though. This is not meant to be depressing or, you know, scary or anything like that. It's just a person with similar thoughts that you guys probably are experiencing as well. So just know you're not alone. I am here, and yeah, I don't know. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out House Party down below in the pinned comment, and also the link is in my description box. And yeah, come back next week because I do have a true crime video. I know I say that, I literally do. So I love you guys. Please remember to always be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.